Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the quick update to the Kharkiv Front. At the Kharkiv Front, the rout of the Russian military continues, with the Ukrainian taking control of more towns and villages. We have information that Tsupivka has been captured by the Ukrainian forces, according to Bairak Volume 1. And also we have the fall of Cherkaski Tyshky. This is not really mentioned within this tweet. This is confirmed by phone call, but it's unlikely that this town, which is it should be a town or village that is closely linked to Ruski Tyshky, which is now fallen to the Ukrainian forces, and Verkhnii, which previously had fallen to the Ukrainians. It's unlikely that this will actually continue to exist, because the Russians do not stay within an area to get encircled. That's usually not the way how they operate. They tend to retreat, tactical retreat together. And they're also mentioned to have captured Borshchova. So the fighting now is reported to be at Lipsy, which is here. So it's a bit weird because Slobodansky has been totally ignored by this Ukraine map. So this information comes from Ukraine map. So on his map, Slobodansky don't exist. So maybe that's why the fighting is now mentioned to be here. However, this town here is not exactly seen to be captured as of yet. Unless Lipsy is captured, then I will also label Slobodansky as captured by the Ukrainian as well. By the look of it, it looks like a orderly tactical retreat by the Russians. They seems like they are not interested to hold the ground here, and they are withdrawing tactically as they fight. So it's not the same kind of retreat we have seen in the Kiev front and Sumy front and Cherkaski front, where the Russians just drive all the way out. On this side, they did not just drive all the way out. They continue to engage the Ukrainian forces, but in a tactical orderly retreat, seemingly. However, the Russian border is just around here, so I'm not sure where are they going to redraw to. Are they going to stay within the border, or are they going to hold the border towns here? Or are they going to go all the way to Belgorod and tempt the Ukrainians to invade into Russia itself? If they do, then it will trigger mobilization within Russia, and that could lead to a formal declaration of war by Russia. So Ukraine has been really careful. As you can see, the entire border here has been recaptured by the Ukrainians, and they have not dared to step into Russian ground as of yet. Although there has been incursions through saboteurs or maybe commando raids, perhaps, and there's also no attacks with drones. There has evidence as they got shot down over Russia. However, because there's no foot on the ground, the Russian has not triggered any alarm or alert in the sense that this is an invasion into Russian territory. So all the way along the river at this is the Siverskyi Donets River, a super long river that we keep repeating this name, stretches all the way to some very far away places. The operational rest seems to be really short, maybe 1 or 2 days, as they continue to capture Bairak, Zamulivka, Verkhnii Saltiv, and Rubizhne. So these 4 towns and villages has been captured by the reportedly the 227th Territorial Defense Battalion. This is reported by MHMCK. I think he's a analyst. I think American, I guess. I cannot remember. I know it seems like a somebody. However, the river around here is too wide to really use a pontoon bridge, unless they have that kind of pontoon bridge that can link up all the way. towards a very long distance. I'm not sure if the Ukrainians actually have that. I know in the Singapore military we do have that. This is crossable even for Singapore military. We have the kind of pontoon bridges which actually acts like a boat of sort. They can actually link up all the way, but I'm not sure if the Ukrainians have that, and this would represent a very good natural defense. And probably the closest place that they can actually do this pontoon bridging is probably around this area. That's the closest place, I guess. If not, they will have to go all the way north, where the river gets a lot smaller, and this is probably a better place for them to cross over. However, as again, this is very close to the Russian border. I have no information about what are the Russian troops congregation volumes or numbers within the Belgorod region, so it's impossible to gauge what are the Russians going to do as a reaction to this capturing of ground by the Ukrainian forces within the Kharkiv region. I just want to note that if there is any major force gathering around in Kursk or in Bryansk or even in Belgorod, the Russians could easily just punch through all the way again, like how they did in the first 2 weeks of the war, all the way to Kiev. That is entirely plausible, but it depends whether they actually have the forces accumulated within this region, which we have no information, and the Americans have not raised alarm on it, so probably not. Because the Americans can't keep their mouth shut. They will probably tell us everything they know. So because they just keep leaking stuff. So I guess working in the US government actually earns you a lot of corrupted money to give to the media, I guess. Anyway, this is the quick update on the Kharkiv front, and it's looking really good for the Ukrainian side. Fighting is now at Lipsy, and there's a stronghold at Kozacha Lopan, a position where the Ukrainians have tried at least 4 to 5 times to capture, and they have failed every single time. And the last information I have of Kozacha Lopan is that they are seen to be entrenching themselves, digging more trenches. So we shall see how the Ukrainians will react to this. As for this part, many maps do not list this area as Russian. So for the benefit of you guys that are following my coverage, do take this side of the map with a pinch of salt. There might be no Russian forces around here, might not be. So, but because we don't really see any information from this side, so it's very hard for me to actually indicate what is there. In terms of the strategic front, the push northward by the Ukrainian forces actually would leave the defenses around Kharkiv to be weakened, because you have troops moving up north. Then the Ukrainians may run a risk that there actually be not enough forces guarding this road south of Kharkiv, because previously this road was the only road that was really in danger of getting overrun by the Russians, which is why they had this counterattack around here in Andriivka and Husarivka to actually block the advance from Balaklia all the way up north. But with this push up, we might see weaken. I do not know for sure, but we might see some weakening of forces that is guarding around Chuhuiv area, and maybe around this road, south of this road, maybe also around Husarivka. Husarivka probably less likely, because Balaklia is something that they want to capture, maybe around here. So, but of course, the entire frontline region here is rather gray. It's really hard to tell where is exactly this line. This is probably quite clear. This popping out here is not so sure, but Stara Khinilitsia is definitely Russian, and so is Horakov. So this is definitely Russian. It's just this part, not so sure. But since I have no information about this part, we just assume that it might be under Russian as of now. but the weakening of the defenses of Kharkiv might see a counterattack. But it's unlikely because the Russians currently have no interest in Kharkiv, which is why we are seeing this tactical retreat. All the interest is now in this part. The Russians now, I think the number one priority now is just to encircle this entire Eastern Army, especially take Luhansk Oblast in its entirety, because this is the only part left of Luhansk Oblast that is not captured by the Russian forces. So this might be the priority now. After this capture, the Luhansk People's Republic have already announced, probably a few weeks ago, that after the capture of all their grounds, their forces will be deployed to aid the special operation of the Russian Federation. So, but their current priority is to liberate their own ground. So once they capture all their own territory, then we will see LPR forces entering into Donetsk People's Republic's war, the theater here, and that will put additional pressure on the Ukrainian forces in this region. I think it's without doubt that the Donbas region is still the number one priority, which is why there is this withdrawal. But this route, this is technically a route now, because the retreat, the capturing of ground is really fast, and this would threaten the supply line in this region, because if the Ukrainians are able to cross into this area, then and they fan out, this will make this operation for the Russians even more harder. I have seen a video that there's celebration for Victory Day at Kupiansk. So this is looking not so good for the people here. If the Russians decided to forgo this entire Kharkiv Oblast to the Ukrainians in a similar tactical retreat kind of thing, then the people that have been seen on video and photos in Russian or pro-Russian media, they are going to have a lot of trouble with the intelligence, like the SBU or the territorial defense, because there's always a witch hunt going on after the Ukrainians capture ground, and they will actually arrest or plus any of these alleged collaborators of the Russian troops. So hope the Russians don't send all these civilians to die. They will actually give the Ukrainians a good fight, or else a lot of innocents are going to suffer. So, but assuming that the Russians don't give a damn about the civilians, then this is a lot of ground for the Russians to actually slowly cede to the Ukrainian forces, so that they will continue to be engrossed in this region, capturing their own the Kharkiv Oblast, while the Russians carry on with their primary objective, which is the Donbas area. So anyway, this is a quick update on Kharkiv. I'll see you in the next update.